phone on silent.
Dude.
Did I fuck that up because I talked while he clicked?
No, you're good. That was loud enough.
Okay, sorry. Just put this over here and not fuck anything else.
My hair is all.
Your hair is so cute.
Thanks.
You're totally getting fucked tonight.
Yeah.
Look at the smirk. She can't deny it.
She was like, I have a schedule. Then your daughter's going to keep you up all night.
She does. She's like, fuck no, you
This is the best.
Right.
This is the best time.
That's how I got here.
That's the best time you train them.
The sleep training?
Yeah, just leave them alone.
She does pretty good at night.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Hi.
Hi. What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of
Be Uplifted.
It feels so weird to put the headphones on again.
I know. Well, last time I felt lost without them. Because you've been gone for a little bit.
Yeah.
So you're probably like, whoa, this is different.
Like, damn, that's what my voice sounds like. No, I'm just kidding.
I like how she's like, you like my voice?
Fucking sexy ass bitch. Mine's all like, hey, what's up, guys?
Did you see the live?
voice.
Like you know how I lost my voice and it's coming back.
Oh, yeah.
I saw your video.
You saw my life hack. You could really do that.
The Cookie Monster?
Yeah. Cookie.
That show is so funny.
Yeah, I was like, what?
You know what's funny is that he had his like sexy voice on the last episode because he was losing his voice. He was like, yeah, I got a raspy voice. He's all matching your vibe, you know?
Oh,
so we
yeah,
had
yeah.
like our...
Sorry guys, Steve Urkel's back or coming back.
Steve Urkel.
Okay, so
No
what
more
are we
Stefan.
talking about?
Well, first of all,
Oh,
the news.
what news?
What happened in the news?
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
shit.
You guys, so I get a text. First of all, shout out to Lonnie because this is a real friend right here. Okay, she's the first one that messaged me personally via text and not DMs because everyone else was via DM. And she's like, just so you know, you are on the news. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, why? Like, I was like, totally caught me off guard. And I'm like thinking, God, what did I do? You know, that's what I'm thinking.
Caught a case.
Yeah, right? So that's what I was thinking. I'm like, oh my God, someone is mad. But like, what was it? Oh, so she sends me the fucking like a picture of the TV and it's like a big ass news channel, you guys. Like,
And it's going to be right here. Like, we'll show it to him. You send it to me and I'll add it.
okay,
I'll
cool.
send it to her.
Yeah, she has it too. So it's a picture of the TV screen because it's like Fox News or
It's like CSW8 or some shit like that.
Like a news place that's actually for reals, not just on Instagram, right? And it's like my fucking picture from like, I don't even know, like 8 years ago now, you know, because I had gotten a boob lift and a hernia fixed by this doctor. And I was one of his like models, like because you know they pick like one of the girls every year to do their campaign, and I was one of the girls that got picked. So I'm like, what the fuck? And okay, so the reason why it's a big deal is this guy's on the news for fucking manslaughter. Okay.
And the picture that they have is
my picture. Like, first of all, I'm not even a part of this case. Second of all, this
She
shit is
hasn't
old
even
as
been
fuck.
manslaughtered.
Right. I'm like, what? Yeah. And then so I got like a few DMs. Like I said, she texted me. Lonnie's mom texted me. Shout out to Mama Babes. And like a couple other people texted me. They're like, is this you? I was like, what the fuck?
Dude, when I texted you, I had to like, I didn't know how to word it. You know, I was like, hey, babes. So this came across and I don't know if you wanted to know, but you on the news.
But you on the news, bitch.
Yeah, like
Hella.
it was like right there. It wasn't like some background. It was like
like,
manslaughter. Boom. My face. I was like, and here's the fucked up
And
thing
our
too.
top story tonight.
Right? Yeah, like that. And the fucked up thing, as I was telling them, is like before I knew this doctor was on some shady shit, like I've definitely told like a good group of people or a good amount of people that this doctor is like bomb. And I'm like, now my name is attached to some fucked up doctor. And then they use my picture? Like, what the fuck?
You're in collusion with the doctor.
I know. I'm like, damn. Now I can't sell nothing, you know? Like if I tried to sell something.
They're sitting there watching TV. Is that the doctor that Ari was talking about? And then it's like, obviously.
Right? My face pops up. So That was an interesting happenstance for me since we last saw each other.
Yeah, that was a really nice picture of you, though.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes, I
to be
was.
honest.
That was like when I was like popping and fit, So I was looking cute in the picture, but it was not a good news thing.
She got that sexy face, like, pick this doctor, but really not.
Like,
Exactly. I was
it's
like,
like,
damn.
look at me, pick this doctor. So you can start your Hoe Phase.
Ooh, that transition though. That
Okay.
segue though. Okay, so
Is that how you slide in the DMs?
slide it in the DM.
I've never slid on in anybody's DM.
Not once.
Not once.
Even okay. What about like a compliment in the DM?
Uh-uh.
Really?
Yeah.
Nope.
It just seems so impersonal.
So you'd rather do it in person than?
No, I wouldn't. I would make the comment in their actual, like, post in the store and like whatever, like out in public.
Oh, okay. Because some people might see it differently, right?
Yeah.
That like a comment is for show and DM is like I want to know you personally. So I like that perspective too. That's a different way of looking at it.
Yeah, no, I don't. It just whatever. It just makes me. It's just so. It's fucking creepy as fuck too.
You feel like this
Really?
the DM
Yeah,
sliding
to send it like,
really?
like hey, like
Yeah, if
That's an interesting take.
Seriously.
if I saw DM, I know that it's a higher likelihood that it's gonna be stupid or inappropriate, as opposed to something that they will put so that everybody can see. So I'll see the DM more. Like it's more likely that I'll notice the DM, and then maybe actively open it. Versus like if I was a popular person, and you get thousands of comments, there's no way that I'm gonna read through all those comments.
Yeah.
But I think if I ever left a comment, just like a regular comment, and we start a conversation, I might I would slide in after that, but I'd never start in the DMs.
Okay.
That's interesting, though.
Yeah, that is interesting because
Because, if I'm like, hoe phasing, right? I wouldn't want everybody to know my business, like, unless I tell you personally. So if you were to comment and then we were kind of like, you said something, then my friends or whoever can be
right.
like, oh,
What's
did you
up
see
with that?
Like, I'd
Yeah.
rather prefer you go on my DM.
Oh well, yeah,
You know?
I guess.
So there's where you're going wrong, Kuya. You need to
Maybe
start off in the DM.
Yeah, maybe I
okay?
should start off in the DM. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I agree with you because I think that's where girls move a little bit differently, right? We're like, ew, like don't be all up on my shit. Like
Yeah.
just say hello, Like I think it's the same thing as being hit on, right? Like we want someone to actually come up to us and be like, hey, how's your day? Like a personal message rather than like, hey, what's up, ma? Like walking across the street,
You know what I noticed? Side note, every time you talk about someone,
That's
like,
what I
hitting on-
say.
You always say, what's up, ma?
Yeah. You know why? Because that's what's said to me every fucking time. Hey, what's up, ma? So that's what I picture guys doing.
Yeah. That was just funny.
As soon as it left my mouth, I felt that. I was like, I've said this before.
So, Kuya, would you consider you've had a hoe phase or no? Okay, I know
Don't
I
lie.
hate the term hoe phase,
Don't
but like that's what people
lie.
know it by.
I think when I was younger, there was a time when you're just not necessarily like dating, but you are dating. Like
Talking.
exclusive.
Talking, messing around.
Yeah, exclusively dating. But then it seems as though like you get to that point where you just kind of like hop around because you don't really know what you want either.
Right.
I don't know if you'd consider that like technically a hoe phase.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think that's a version of a hoe phase. It's just how far you want to hoe it. You know?
Like
Right.
I don't necessarily think like a hoe phase is just like you
are
putting your
actually
shit
a
out
hoe.
everywhere, But like if you're talking to multiple people, I think to me that's like your a hoe phase.
Yeah, I think the hoe phase is like when you're testing the waters,
Yes.
basically.
Really, you don't just call that dating?
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much what it is.
Because whole phase, to me, I would associate that with sex.
I think
Yeah.
that's probably what it's supposed to be, but it's become so loosely used now that it's kind of just like what people say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're probably right.
But the problem with that is that it's such a turnoff from a male's perspective. If I was, let's say, interested in a girl, and let's say we were close enough that we kind of knew each other's business, and she was like, "Oh, I'm just in my hoe phase," then I'm just like, "Oh, so you're getting run through right now?"
Oh, that was another question too. I was gonna ask, like, when you're in your whole phase, do you know that you're in your hoe phase, or do you just look back and be like, damn, I had a hoe phase?
No, I think we know.
Oh,
No, we
okay.
know.
We
We
know.
make the, so I feel, and I could be wrong because, you know, everyone's different, but I feel, correct me if I'm wrong, generally speaking, women make the decision to make their hoe phase happen. Like they're like,
Yeah.
okay, it's now.
Right.
Well,
You know?
And then now thinking about it though, I don't tell my homeboys like, oh, I was in my hoe phase, like, because I get that you guys think of it like that. I tell my homegirls like
Homegirls,
that.
yeah,
So
exactly.
that's like a homegirl, I guess, term.
But we do see it though, because we're not like blind either.
Well, of course,
You
but I
know.
wouldn't be like, yo.
But that's also the problem is that, you know, as you said, you guys are actually starting the whole phase. Yeah, you have control over that.
Right.
Whereas, so again, from a guy's point
You're
of view,
choosing to be this hoe,
yeah,
basically.
where a guy has to almost like, we have to work to
for
get
the,
it.
Work for the
So
pussy.
so our whole phase is almost like, you know, we're really trying hard in the street. On average, okay, I'm not talking about the fucking male model down the street
Right,
that
right.
works at Abercrombie. You know what I'm saying? Like for
An average Joe.
average Joe or below average Joe like Vince and I.
Yeah.
You know?
To answer your question though, Vince, is like, oh, wouldn't you be dating? I don't consider me dating somebody unless I'm really just talking to someone like on a serious more note before he asked me or we confirm like we're boyfriend and girlfriend.
That's what dating is.
To me,
I agree with that. Dating is more serious than the hoe phase. Like
Yeah.
the hoe phase is kind of like when you're feeling shit out.
Yeah.
And you're kind of
That's
like,
so fucked up.
hi.
Because okay, so there's a hoe phase. Okay, guys, I'm gonna speak on my for myself, but I think that guys feel this way.
Okay.
We just want to fuck,
Right.
right? But you're gonna give that away so easily during your hoe phase, but then when you see a potential like boyfriend or you know future partner, you're gonna withhold on that.
Because
That's-
you want it to be quote unquote special.
Well, yeah, and
you
it's
know what I'm saying?
stupid. It's stupid because it's like, okay, so if I dated an OnlyFans girl, her subscription is $5.99 a month or whatever, right? That means that if I buy her a dinner for $5.99, I've invested as much as all the other people that have seen her naked. I am entitled to see her naked.
I hear you, and you do have a good point.
Wow. I've never seen it from that perspective. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay. Okay.
Yeah, if you're gonna give it away to strangers for $5.99, if I'm gonna take you out and spend more than $5.99, I should get the same privileges as complete strangers, right?
That's if I'm
But that's her,
interested.
but I feel like okay, I see. I actually
Yeah.
really agree with you when you're saying that. I'm like, oh my god, that's actually a really good point. But I think this is my theory that it's because they see that as a job. You
Yeah.
know, like you're just a fucking number. You're a moneymaker. I don't give a fuck. But I get what you're saying. It's like, well, like we can be friends and you can give me pussy, like or dating and give
Yeah.
me pussy. I see what you're saying too, though.
Yeah, like for that example, I agree with Ari, but in the perspective of like just generalization, like if my mental state is I'm in my hoe phase, then yeah, I'm gonna give it to not just give it to whoever, but like who I choose to, right?
Yeah.
And then if it's somebody who I really want to invest in, to be honest, I have a rule though, like if we haven't done it within the first few like month, 2 months or whatever, then I'm cool. Like you can move on. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I don't know how else to put it. Like I don't just let him wait. And if I do let him wait, it's because like I want to see truly where his heart is at too.
But okay, so let me also put it into this scenario. Say you're in your whole phase. There's me, person A, and another person B, right? Or Rich, right?
Oh, you're going the first day. No, I'm just kidding.
So no, well, like let's
Going
say,
home?
Getting it.
so like let's say you're looking at me as just he's just around or whatever, right? But and you give it up to me because you're in your whole phase. But then you meet Rich, which is like, oh, he could be boyfriend. So you're gonna make him wait, and then I don't have to wait. But we both want the same thing.
I'd make it clear. Like I would have a conversation.
No, but see, this is my point. Is we both want the same thing because I'm.
So why
worse.
not give it to the good
No,
guy?
yeah, because
Oh, okay.
why would you give it to me who's worse or not even a potential boyfriend versus somebody that is better than me in every way?
Yeah. I
He
think
said
I,
yeah.
I,
That
no,
doesn't make sense.
no, I think that's where the confusion is when you call it a hoe phase. Because when you call it a hoe phase, I'm immediately thinking about a
Sex.
girl that will go to the club almost every weekend and go home with a guy.
Right. So I
or
think that's where we differentiate, right? You guys are thinking literal sex.
Yeah.
And we're thinking hoe phase as in we're talking to a bunch of dudes.
No, the word hoe is a hoe.
Hoe. I
right?
get that, but
So
that's why we use it amongst each other.
I would
Yeah.
call it that I'm just on my dating phase. It sounds a lot better.
But that's what she's saying. When she says dating, it means she's actually solidified that this is a guy I see potential with.
Yeah, but you're just. For me, it would be like dating. Like I'm going out every other weekend. I'm meeting girls or whatever. We're going out to dinner, and then that's
Just different definitions,
That's
I guess.
dating phase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when if I say, "Oh, I'm in my whole phase," that means like I'm in orgies. You know what I'm saying? I'm in threesomes.
how do you guys feel now that you're learning that girls don't really mean it that way? Is it going to change your perspective?
Yeah, girls are dumb.
No, because
No, so, like, are you going to know that it's not literal sometimes?
Well, then how do you know it's not literal?
Because you get to know her.
No, I'm sorry.
Okay, so
Well, the thing is though, again, it's a problem with using the word hoe.
Yeah, I know.
yeah, help me understand. So you tell me the differences now. So what's the difference between a girl's version of hoe phase and a guy's definition of dating?
I don't think it's very different when we're now talking about it.
No,
You know,
it's
So
not.
okay,
Yeah.
so what's the difference between a girl's version of dating and a guy's version of hoe phase?
girls take dating seriously. It's not like I'm being a hoe. Like
Okay,
to them,
well, like to us.
to us, yeah. Like if I'm talking to a couple guys, we're texting back and forth. We're kind of I've gone on a couple Tinder dates, then I'm fucking in my hoe phase. But if I have been on like 5 dates with you, I talk to you every day, but we haven't actually said that we're boyfriend and girlfriend, then that's considered dating. Is that what you meant?
I'm just curious the difference between the dating and the
Hoe
what
phase.
you think you're doing during your hoe phase. What do
You're
you-
not focusing on like one person.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so with guys, when we're dating, we're seeing whoever is going to be the one that we want to put up with the most.
Right. So
But
that's
are you
what I was
fucking
saying.
during those people too?
I'm sure that guys that get to do that are.
Okay. Yeah.
It's hard enough for me to get one girl interested in me.
Okay.
To have multiple.
Why you look at me?
No, I'm saying I'm asking you, Quinn. Like, with your alleys and shit.
Right.
That's why he sat by the brick wall.
Right?
That's
He's
why.
like, I feel at home right here.
But
We should write
He's
some
like,
scratch,
welcome back,
draw some
Lonnie.
scratches on it so it feels like
you want some milk
Do you need a
titties?
rail there and some? Do you want me to move the trash can there?
some milk, give me some milk juice.
But no, so like, okay, if you're dating phase, like, are you fucking multiple people too?
I could be, yes.
Okay, so goes back to the question, like, so wouldn't that be considered your whole phase of your definition?
Well, yeah, because he's fucking.
Yeah. But
it's also dating.
But let's
So-
say
so
if he was only dating, we wouldn't call that a hoe phase.
yeah.
Because first off, it's a lot different for guys because on all those dates, we're probably paying for it.
Or we're not getting it every.
no, not
Look, so here's the thing. It's like again, it's how do
I
I?
think it's just
We're getting so stuck
I
on
think
like
it's just
the word.
differences of definitions, but we
Yeah.
all mean the same thing.
No,
We
because
just-
because it could be
Yeah, but we
confusing.
want to understand.
Because I'd meet a girl.
Right.
I'd meet a
It
girl,
is
right?
confusing.
I'd meet a girl, and we kind of develop like what do you call that? Like rapport with each other, and I'm like, yeah. So you seeing anyone? No, I'm just dating. So what is that? Like
because a girl's not going to call herself a hoe to you. She's going to tell her friend, "Hey, I'm in my hoe phase," but she's going to tell you that she's dating.
but that's what I mean, though. That's
That
when it
makes
gets
sense.
that's when it gets confusing.
right.
But
But you're not
you won't
supposed
be
to hear.
confused.
Yeah, you're not supposed to hear that part of the
Nah.
conversation.
So now, I'm
Fellas,
in the
take
know.
notes.
I'm in the know now.
Fellas, take notes.
motherfuckers.
No, I mean, okay, like, to be honest, when I was in my whole phase, I didn't fuck, like, I talked to like 3-4 guys at one time, and I didn't give it all to all
Okay,
of
so
them.
why call it the whole phase?
Because it's just a funny
It's
word that we
just-
like. Like when I say to her, "Hey, what's up, hoe?" you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like
This bitch,
this
you know,
bitch right
like-
here. It's just a funny
guess.
word amongst girls. Like how you
It's
walk up
just-
to your guy friends and you smack them in the dick and you laugh and you walk away. It doesn't make sense, but it just is. You know, like
Okay.
Just know when it's between your homegirl, okay, between us homegirls, that's what we call it.
Okay.
But when we talk to you guys, like, yeah, I'm talking.
okay.
to-
Here's where it gets a little
Okay.
bit more complicated. Am I right when I say? But if we're talking about a girl to a dude and we say she was in her hoe phase, she was actually being a hoe.
a hoe. Yeah.
I
fucking calculus. Jesus fucking Christ.
You get what I'm saying, right?
yes.
Like, dude, that girl, dude, she was in her fucking hoe phase.
Or she was hoeing.
She was hoeing. That means she was actually being a hoe when we talk to dudes about it. Because we know how you look
Perceive
at,
it.
yeah, how you look at hoe and how you
Yeah.
perceive it and what you guys call it. So that's why we use your terminology. But amongst each other, there's like a tone that girls use and a way that it's said where we understand it's not literal, you know?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I guess guys are more like, I was in my hoe phase, and that means it's like
Actual
I
being a
was
hoe.
getting down.
Have you noticed though, like when girls talk about other girls, or even if it's a homegirl, they're like, "Oh, that's my bitch," or
Yeah.
"That's my hoe," blah 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 blah,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Right.
But you guys don't down talk each other like
Yeah.
how girls do. Like that's sad to say, but
Oh,
that's literally
true.
like
that's
how,
so true.
you know what I'm saying? Like you don't be like, "Oh, that's
That's
a
that
dick."
dumbass over there.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like when you say
No,
it,
but
you
we
actually
say
mean
it to we say it to each other's face though.
We say it to each other's
Yeah.
face too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but it ends at that.
It does too sometimes.
Yeah.
If me and Rich
Come on.
have a yeah, if me and Rich have an argument or like misunderstanding and we fight, after that fight we're already done with it.
Yeah.
So after that, I'm not gonna be like, yo, I beat that dude's ass or he fucked me up or he screwed me over. No, we already fought about it. It's over. Who cares?
Yeah, we can,
Yeah,
we
I
can-
mean
we
that's
can
true.
cuddle
Girls
now.
carry
It is
on
true.
a lot
Yeah.
longer. That's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Take any argument, for example, and she starts losing the argument. She'll bring up some shit that's irrelevant.
So back to hoe phase.
Yeah,
So you have had a hoe phase then, if we're saying that in
Okay,
your
you've had a
definition.
date.
okay,
dating.
in your definition, yes, I'm currently in my hoe phase.
Okay. See, there you go.
That's what's up.
It's in a vast desert, but I'm still walking.
I see a tumbleweed going.
You know what I mean? I know. I thought
We should just do that on the edit. Just like,
It's a thought that counts, and
He's like,
thinks
"Fuck
he
more
is.
editing."
right.
I thought I was walking the path of God, and 40 days and 40 nights happened. It's still
It just
nothing.
continued.
He is risen, and I haven't yet.
Oh,
That's so
happy
sad.
late Easter, guys.
I know. Someone give him some pity Easter dick or not pussy. Pussy.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
No,
I'm sorry.
no, edit.
No, it's getting to that point.
Oh no.
We're getting desperate over here.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
There goes the tumbleweed.
Okay, so how do you feel about your hoe phase? Like, do you feel like, you know, you're glad that you're in this space where you get to date and choose and pick and choose, or has it been like long enough where you're kind of like, I'm ready to be there with somebody. Like, I'm ready to. I know we've talked about it before. You don't really know yet because like you're so busy, blah blah
Yeah.
blah. But if you could pick like the ideal situation, do you think you're ready?
Okay. Well, I can get. So remember a lot of that stuff that I was saying, how I wasn't ready, right?
You change your mind?
No.
Oh,
Oh damn.
And then I was just like, I haven't met that person yet that I could actually feel like I'm safe in doing so.
Yeah. You bet her.
No, I had an epiphany. I had an epiphany a couple months ago,
Ooh, I want to hear.
and it basically boiled down to the women that I surround myself with, whether it's at Pacers, whether it's wherever.
Or a different strip club.
Yeah. And then I've always said it, right? I would have no problems with dating a porn star or a stripper. I've
Right.
said that. But what if I came to an epiphany is that circle might be what's causing me to actually not be comfortable, because I don't see what I'm looking for
In those
in
women.
them.
Oh,
They're merely just the figures of flesh.
right.
But if I really want to get to know somebody, it can't be any one of those.
so you need to go to Target and like Home Goods and shit.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like, you know,
Yeah.
you'd meet them like at fucking church functions or at the park randomly, you know, or maybe at the bar.
So
just
are you now
casually.
saying that you do mind dating those kind of girls?
No,
Or
I-
that you
no.
probably won't give them a chance in those scenarios?
No, I would just say that you have to look beyond that. Like, you can't just say that is what you're looking
Like
for.
more options.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I see what
Yeah,
you're saying. Okay.
and I think when I
You meant in the dressing room.
you know, like when I keep myself in that position, then it's almost like, well, if I surround myself with this, even though like I'm pretty like secure, like mentally, and I'm like self-confident or whatever, I was just thinking like maybe it's them that's actually causing me to feel insecure about whether or not I can proceed with any sorts of relationship with
Yeah.
them.
That makes sense. Wow. Look at you growing up and having epiphanies.
Yeah.
Shout out to be uplifted.
Right?
You know?
No, I'm just kidding.
That's funny. That's good though. That's good that you like realize that.
Yeah. So, what was the question again? Sorry.
So, like, are you like all in for the hoe phase? Like, are you excited that you have options, and do you want to kind of live that out more before you find the one, or are you like really in the phase of your life where you're like, I'm ready for?
No, I don't think guys actually go in that sense. I think we're probably looking for that person whenever we get a chance. So I never have it like a closed door where I just, like, oh, I'm just my whole face. I'm not like looking for a relationship. I'm like, I'm either or.
I see.
So you kind of like you meet somebody.
You kind of just go with the flow, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Go with the flow, and if it goes in one direction, you're happy there, and if it goes in the other direction, I'm happy there as well. Also,
Do you think most men are like that they move forward in dating with kind of just like I'm open to see where it's gonna go, or do you think it's mostly women that are like, this is what I'm looking for and it's very specific?
I think men will take what they can get.
Yeah, I'll give you a scenario. If I meet a girl and then we just start having sex and I'm thinking it's only sex, right? Mm-hmm. That's cool, because I also think if I could get it with this girl, I could probably get it with another girl. Mm-hmm. Then when reality hits, and I'm like, oh shit, I want to get some, but she's the only girl that I can hit up. Well, let me not make her feel like trash. I'll ask her on a date. Mm-hmm. Or like, oh, you want to go
And
eat?
then it turns into
And then it turns into a relationship. It's
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
You're like, fuck.
yeah.
I feel like that happens
Yeah.
more often than
Oh,
not.
hell yeah.
You, like,
Yes,
that's how
it
these
does.
whole like friends with Benny turn into something, because
Yeah.
not only is there like the catching feelings portion, but there is like the convenience portion, right?
Yeah.
Like that's so
And it makes sense though,
true.
because you guys know that to get it with a girl and for her to be enjoyable, either your dick has to be really bomb, or like she emotionally has to be there.
Right. That's
Which
true.
that's why I'm always broke. because of-
And you also know as a guy that if you got it once, you probably can get it again. So you
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
back to that same one.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But if you want like let's say
Yeah.
if you're trying to get variety, or you just want to, like you don't want to tie yourself down. Mm-hmm. That when you realize that it's not that easy, that kind of is why some relationships start.
Yeah. she said, Okay, Lonnie, tell us about your hoe phase.
Oh shit. I
When was it? Not when, but like was it before Jason? Way before that?
it was before Jason, but Jason was part of my thing.
Why did I say before Jason as if there was any after? Sorry, Jason. That was I worded that weird.
Yeah, you didn't know? No, I'm just kidding.
She's like, I got something to tell you. No, just kidding.
Breaking news. No. Yeah, obviously it was before Jason. It was right after my my toxic relationship.
Okay.
I for sure was like, fuck this. I'm getting my shit out. I'm fucking whatever. And that's when I went clubbing almost like every fucking Thursday, Friday, Saturday, recovered on Sunday, whatever. And that was when I was doing like the whole online dating. What
It's all
happened?
washing stamps with the holy water at church.
On Sunday.
It's like, I gotta get these
Damn.
stamps off my head.
I had those days. You have a stamp still at church the next day. That's fucked up.
Okay, I didn't do that though. But
Yeah, I still had a stamp. Like, damn.
No, I feel like shit.
I knew it was bad though when the security guard knew me and he was like, all right, I'll see you next week. I'm like, damn.
That's how
know?
you know as a girl,
Yeah.
because every girl that's a regular will get that security guard that's like, all right, that's the
Fellas,
girl.
keep your eye out for that girl.
Yeah. Be very vigilant.
But shout out to those security guards because he made sure I was safe though at the end of the night.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he wants guys to spend money on you next week too.
Yep.
That's very true.
Yep. Get that tip money. But yeah, so I for sure had a hoe phase. I enjoyed it a lot. I'm not gonna lie. I'm thankful that I went through it. I mean, there was some that I was like, fuck, what the fuck, what I was thinking about. And then there was some that I was like, damn, like it was memorable.
Hold up. Can you turn your cup around? It has like her phone number on it.
Whose phone number? Oh, I didn't notice. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Does it?
Don't hit me up. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, it does have it. Sorry.
Yeah, whole face is over, guys.
Yeah, hello.
Thank you for noticing that, Gwen.
Put my phone number. No.
But yeah, I mean, the Hoe Phase was for sure a lot of fun. I still have a couple of them that's like, I remember they've hit me up and I was like, yo, I'm out of this phase. Like, I deleted it or whatever. And then it was funny actually, like recently I bumped into one of the guys that I was Hoe Phasing it with.
Yeah.
And I already had like Alina, my daughter, on one side and Jason on the other side. And I was like, hi.
This is what happens.
I have a personal question.
Okay.
In that whole phase of the people that you were, in my definition, dating, how many of them did you smash with? Like what percentage? You don't have to say, oh, out of 87. No, I don't care about the number. I just
99.9.
I'm curious. Like, yeah.
And all for the 2000s. That's the first thing I thought of. You know what song I'm talking about, right? Okay.
Yep.
To be honest, it was a low number for sure. Like I don't know. I can't really give you a number.
A fraction?
A fraction? Maybe like 3 to 5%, maybe. It was really low.
3 to 5%?
Yeah.
That's a big whole phase.
What do you mean?
Because she's saying if it's 10, then there's only like, that's a lot of people already.
In order to get to 3%.
Okay, well, my mathematician is halaf. Okay, let's say out of like 10 people, I only probably gave it to like 2 of them.
20%.
20%, yeah.
Yeah. Not bad.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm sorry for throwing us off. No, but I was like,
I know. I was like, 2%. Wait. I was like trying to do
no.
Yeah, in order to get to 3%, you have to have a big.
No, to be honest, I was talking to a lot of people. It was to the point where like I kind of got them mixed up. It was
Get it, girl.
No,
See, that's where the homegirl comes in. Get it, girl.
I had certain spots that I met them at because I did the whole online dating thing. Okay. So it was either Seaport Village, Dave and Buster's, or we went to like Applebee's or something like that. And that was like that, or I would meet them at the club or whatever. But all those times I can say, and I'm proud to say that I never went home with them the first night I met them. Yeah, but that was my whole phase.
What was your favorite part of your whole phase? And your least favorite part?
My favorite part had to be, I love the getting to know somebody, like just the like banter. The conversations was really fun for sure. Side note, I remember
Bannister.
Yeah, I was like, why do you say it like that?
I remember I went out on a date with this guy and we didn't even get it in like that, but
he wanted to get it in.
He wanted to. He for sure was asking me. He's like, and I was like,
he asked permission. Do I have your consent to enter your birth canal?
No, he was like for sure asking for some head.
He was like,
oh, he was asking for head. Okay.
Yeah, he was for sure asking for head.
like how? Like, hey, how nice to see you.
No,
forcing us.
No, but he had those conversations like, so like,
No, for reals. How did he act? Because I always wonder how guys approach this. Like how guys approach the whole trying to ask to get their dick
Well,
sucked.
he warned me. He's like, oh yeah, I'm really kinky and shit. I'm like, oh yeah? And he's like, yeah. And then he's like, so what's the most crazy thing you've ever done or whatever? Like that whole conversation.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I go, oh, I like to give head then receive it. And he's like, oh yeah, I bet you can't. That whole thing. Like, oh, I bet you
can't take this dick.
Yeah. Like that whole thing. And I was like, you gonna find out maybe later,
Yeah.
Yeah, but going back, the most funnest date was when we stayed up till like 5 o'clock in the morning and we're just sitting in the car just talking and shit. That was one of my memorable ones. What?
So boring.
He's like, that guy was waiting the whole time hoping, right?
Yeah, the whole time.
I'm more like, if you can get my mind going, I enjoy that more than like just fucking.
But not him. That's what
Not
he's
him. No, but he was fun. He was for sure fun.
What's one of your least favorite memories during your hoe phase?
My least
sitting in the car for 17 hours.
The guy's worst memory.
My worst one is probably just filtering them out like online. That was probably like the most annoying part.
Like getting the weird messages and the creepers.
Yeah.
Wow, but
that's so much easier for guys because the girls are like, no, yep,
don't respond.
No,
that doesn't even happen
for
in
guys.
real life. We're just like trying to like land somebody to match with.
Yeah.
Must be nice that your worst time was actually filtering.
Stop. Oh no, remember, I've told this story. Is the one that I thought he left me.
Oh yeah, the one.
Wait, the one that he
But
that
he's
you thought
actually
he
being
wasn't.
chivalrous. Yeah.
That's the one you
Yeah.
stayed in the car for 5 hours until sunset?
No,
It's a
the one
different
where
one.
she saw him pulling up and then turned,
Right,
like
right.
went down the street and turned around or something. So
Right.
that
Yeah, he
could-
didn't go that far, but yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah. That was like the worst one because he made us so awkward. Yeah.
He was the gentleman.
No, but the conversations was just dry.
That's the worst when someone can't like keep a conversation. You're like, so
Yeah, I have those
I'm
problems.
like, so the
too.
sushi is really good. Next round, like it was really weird. Yeah, but so, how was your whole phase? Did you have one?
yeah, it's my whole phases have never been like very long because I'm very much like an avid relationship person. So it's almost like this like very short period of time.
Yeah.
I would say that like the biggest one was after I split up with my high school sweetheart that I was with for like 9 years or 8 or 9 years. I was definitely talking to like multiple people. I definitely experienced a different dick for the first time, you know, things like that. It was fun. If I have one regret is that it wasn't longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, I think I felt so shameful that I wasn't in a like serious relationship because that's all I knew almost. You know, it was almost like my identity to be like the wifey, the girlfriend. You know,
yeah.
so it felt weird being like the quote unquote hoe. Even though I wasn't like fucking around by your guys' definition. So I was like, oh, I want that fairy tale again, you know, like the beautiful love story and blah, 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 which is why I got into
a relationship.
that was toxic, you know? But definitely that period of time before I got into that toxic relationship was like a lot of fun. Like that was the first time that I experienced like getting taken on dates. Cause, you know, me and my high school sweetheart, we were from high school. We didn't do that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then like getting flowers sent to me, getting picked up at the office with flowers in hand, like things like that. I was like,
Damn.
okay, I could get used to this, you know? But I did notice that I was very self-sabotagey. Like when I clicked really hard with a dude, I mean, I've shared this on here before, I'll immediately start ghosting him. Like I'm just like, oh my God, he's a nice guy and I can see this going somewhere.
Next.
Block next.
I've done that once too.
Yeah.
Yeah, where he was like more into me than I was into him, and I was like, oh,
But that's always
Right.
how it is.
Not always.
You're not going to be like at the same level.
Oh, you mean like
All
both?
the
but at the same time, all the
yeah.
time.
That's true.
Like I'm not gonna be like, okay, on 3, think what you're saying. 1, 2, I love you, and it's like, well, oh wait, we're in sync. Oh wow, butterflies. No, it's not gonna be like that. One person's gonna fall in love with the other person before, you know.
Harder or whatever.
Yeah, and one's gonna love harder than the other, and one's going to contribute more into the relationship than the other, and one's going to be, you know, ready to take the next step before the other.
That's true.
So that's unfair.
Well, okay, well maybe it's also because like he had a daughter, and I just wasn't ready for that at that time.
Oh,
either.
so now you guys are equal, huh?
Well, no, not anymore. But like, you know, I just wasn't ready for that. Yeah.
So it seems like whenever you guys mention these quote unquote hoe phases, it always seems to be like after an extended relationship.
That's what I notice about girls. That's usually when a girl experiences her quote unquote hoe phase is after long.
Yeah, how long do you wait after the relationship to get into the hoe phase?
To be honest, it depends how bad that guy fucked me up.
Yeah. So like for me, my experience with my high school sweetheart was it was like almost like I was getting into it while we were almost ending. Like I started going to the club more with my friends, you know, I started like talking to dudes at the club more, you know, like being more open because it was such a bad relationship. And then we did break up and then I was like immediately already in that phase, you know? So for that one was like rather quickly, but the next relationship after that was my baby daddy, the very, very toxic one. And because that one fucked me up so bad, it definitely took me like time to like a couple months or like a few months or whatever the number is before I started like wanting to even talk to a guy, you know? What about you?
Same. Yeah, just to like generalize it, again, it just depends like how bad that person really screwed me over. Because I've had that too, where it's like we were towards the end and we knew we were gonna separate, but the situation we were in, we didn't like physically separate.
It was almost like mentally you guys were checked out already.
Yeah. Vince.
Do you guys have
Yes,
that?
Lonnie?
Yeah.
What is that the question? Do you
Yeah.
guys have?
Go ahead.
No, let's start first with your hoe phase before I get into the question.
Oh no, I had a no phase. Like my whole phase was when I was trying to talk to a lot of girls, and all of them told me no. It's just like I would try to hook up, like I would try to talk to a girl, like, and I would plan it, and I'm like, oh, you know what, like I'm gonna wait till the weekend, see what she's doing, blah blah blah, and I'll ask one girl, and then she'd be like, no, I'm doing something that day. I'm like, all right, cool. And then my whole phase was when I did that with a lot of girls, and they all still said no.
What was like your most memorable one? Like, what was the worst no that you got? Like, give us a.
Have you ever gotten like a harsh rejection like that?
I wouldn't say that it was harsh because she didn't think she didn't mean to hurt my feelings.
Okay.
But she was like, oh, for real? I was like,
Oh, that's
oh, damn. I was like, what? No.
I'm just kidding.
Almost got you.
Oh my gosh, you answered that question. Do you have a no that or a rejection that like kind of like stung that stood out that you can think of?
Oh, that didn't stand out for me. That just happened a lot, and I remembered it.
He's like really thinking.
I'm really thinking, yeah.
He blocked it out.
He's all fucked up.
I don't know. Like I take rejection pretty well. That isn't. It's almost like just move on. Like I've never really been to sulk and.
Oh yeah, I'm good.
So
at
what do you
rejected.
say when they're like, no, I'm okay, or like their rejection? Are you like, okay?
Okay, yeah, move on. Like
It's so awkward for me.
I'll just be like,
why
okay.
awkward
Like-
for you if I did it?
No, like after you're like, okay, and then I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go now.
No, I'll just be like, oh, okay. Well, in that case, you ordered this.
No, you just sometimes you just feel it, then you just back away. Then you don't even have to say anything. Sometimes.
You can just feel the vibe,
Yeah, you feel the vibe, like a
the rejection in their face.
well, no, like let's say you're into a girl, right? And you guys are like in Vince's case, how he asks and they said no, right?
Oh, I have a good answer for this.
So that's like at the very beginning, right? So let's say you're you know this person and you kind of like familiar with her, so, and then you guys are talking, whatever, and then she starts talking about how like she's going on other dates. You're probably not the guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you just back away. Like it's not worth my energy to even try.
So I have to clarify this. There was one girl that I did ask out, and I did get that answer. She was all like, "Oh, are you serious?" I was like, "Huh, no." And then she was all like, "Oh no, I'm sorry. I just never saw you like that." And I said, "Well, I mean, if that's the case, can I talk to you about these other bitches that I'm talking to?" And she's all like, "Oh yeah, we're still cool." I started talking to her more, and then through the mutual hate of a person, like we became closer, and we could have dated, but then it was my turn to be like, "Oh, you know what? I'm actually focused on work now."
Oh, how the tables turn. Mm-hmm. So I have a question. This is just in hindsight. I'm like, I wonder what the guy's perspective is. So this happened to me during my whole phase, right? There was this guy that worked at Plaza Bonita.
The time where like the food court was in the middle, or
Well, do you guys remember when Revolution was upstairs?
yes.
Okay, so he was like the co-owner of the store, right?
Okay.
So he was this fine-looking guy, and he would always talk to me every time I walked into the store. So this was when I was like 16, 17. He would like, and he was like 19 at the time. And we would talk, whatever. Every time I came to the store, he'd say, "What's up?" So like years pass. I didn't see him, but we'd always see each other regularly when I would go to the mall, right? And then years later, when I was like in my 20s, during the hoe phase after my high school sweetheart, we saw each other at the gym. So he was now a manager at this gym, right? And he was like super buff, and he was like, "Oh my God, it's you." And he starts to try to get at me again. And like, we're like, okay, this is it. Like, this is what we've been waiting for. We've been trying to date for fucking forever. Like, we would talk, like we had like really good banter, blah, blah, blah. He invited me over to his house and we watched a movie together, right? And I'm going to assume now that I talked to you guys that he thought he was going to smash. because after years of trying to get at me and us having great conversation and us talking and him telling me how beautiful I am and wanting to be my man, he never talked to me again after that night because I didn't smash him.
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you girls this.
That's
thing.
probably why, right?
Yeah.
Because I didn't smash and that's all he wanted.
100%.
Yeah, I'll tell you girls this thing. If a guy invites you over to his house to watch a movie, he wants to smash. If a guy asks you, hey, have you seen Step Brothers or Talladega Nights or blah, 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 and you say no, if he's really your friend, he'll probably just be like, you should watch it. Tell me what you think.
Okay, well, here's the thing, right? The only reason why I didn't smash, because I probably would have, because that man was fine, like, was because I happened to be on my period that week. So in my head, I was like, we'll, like, talk and chill, and I'll smash him the next time I come over, you know?
Yeah.
But I didn't even get that next time. So, like, should I have told him that? Or, like, you know, like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I
Like,
mean-
hey,
No,
by
no,
the
no,
way,
no, no, no.
we're
This-
not
I mean,
having the sex because I have
Yeah,
my
we
period.
could have made out.
Yeah, you could have teased
But that
him.
was actually another thing that pissed me off. Like, he never made a move. He was such a gentleman that he was, but okay, he looked like a player. He had the game, he had the voice, like everything. But when it was time to fucking pull the trigger and like make a move on me, like I sat close to him. I kind of like
You gave him
touched
the eyes and
Yeah, I gave
everything?
him the eyes and everything. I
Ugh.
gave him the little touches, you know, and he did not make a fucking move. Not
no,
one move.
the eyes don't do anything. You should have given him the head.
Yes. Make
No,
I mean,
you got to work me
You
up to
say
the head,
no,
you
but
know?
you say
Yeah.
no, but would that have worked?
If he had like put the moves on me because of how
Oh,
fine he
yeah.
was, I would have fucking sucked that man's dick. I would have hella sucked his dick. But he was like, he didn't even like make me like it was so odd because I was like, this all these years of buildup of you like building up that we have this good thing going, and I'm finally single,
Yeah.
and I come over and you don't even fucking make a move. Like,
How was the conversation once you guys were alone?
it was like okay because we were watching. Like he was like really into this movie. You know, it was like some like Marvel movie or something like that. You know, like,
yeah.
So it's like you can't really talk much, but then after that, he was just like, "Okay, so you know, bye." Like,
Yeah, you don't want to
Yeah.
fuck up a Marvel movie.
yeah. So I don't know.
That makes sense. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
But
it's like talking
that's
during
his
Star
fault
Wars.
for
Right.
fucking picking that type of movie.
Yeah, you should have watched Titanic, you dumbass.
Yeah. So I was just kind of like, I'm not gonna ruin this. There's all intense and shit. Like I want to know what's going on in
Yeah.
this movie.
Why do you think Sharknado made it to film? It's a dumbass movie. The only reason to have it is so that you can not pay attention to it.
That part.
Sharknado, all you guys buy Sharknado.
So yeah, what's the perspective? What happened? What went awry, guys?
I mean, many things. I mean, sometimes it's like, I don't know. I mean, I wasn't there. We were. Sometimes it could have been like something you said that just triggered something in his head. I was like, nah.
That's true. If we had spoken
Yeah.
more though, but we hardly spoke because we were so focused on this movie.
Were you like, you're sitting next to him?
Yeah.
Dude, that's his fault for picking a certain type of movie. He
Look.
didn't fucking make a move. I'm sorry, but I'm the same way with Ari though.
He had mad game at the place, and then as soon I almost feel like he got
Got
nervous
nervous.
and stage fright, and then he felt so like embarrassed about his stage fright that he never called me again. You know, I was just kind of like, that's weird. Even at the fucking thing, he got all like weird after that. I was like, okay.
Maybe he got like super nervous because depending on what you're wearing, he's like, oh shit, you know, like because that's happened to me.
That's happened to me before, too.
He told
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, I mean, I would never blame the movie. Listen, I don't care what fucking movie is on.
No, that's not true.
you put
Some
the-
movies are intense.
No.
No.
you-
If it's
no,
Marvel,
motherfucker.
trust me, I've seen it before. We've seen it together. Trust me. I've already seen it.
Well, I mean, if it's like a second time, but if it's my first time watching it, I'm gonna be into
If he asked me like, oh, have you seen this movie? I'll be like, yeah. And then he's like, I go, have you seen it? And he says, yeah. They're like, okay, well then definitely we're not just watching it. Like we're doing other shit.
Yeah.
Y'all are crazy.
Fellas, Sharknado.
No, listen.
No girl has watched Sharknado.
I don't care what fucking movie is on the TV. If I've seen it, I paid the premiere price. You put your hand on my lap. There's more than likely I ain't seen half of the next.
Yeah, so
other
that's what
movies.
I'm thinking too. I put like I was literally like touching him.
Oh,
you know?
and
it
if
was
he
just kinda
rented it,
like,
you could rewind it.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I'm just
Back then you
saying.
probably could.
You don't like. I don't care. Fuck Marvel.
But you're not
movies.
gonna like make a move on her. You're gonna expect her to make a move on you.
I'm gonna put my arm around her.
Okay, but that's the thing. You
He
made
never
a
made
move.
Yeah, he never made the move.
That's what I'm saying though. So I don't know what
So
happened.
he's a dumb fuck not making a move when you came over.
Yeah, I went to you. You can't fucking me. I'm touching your leg. My hand is in your thigh right now. You don't want
He's
to
probably
fucking
like, oh, her hand's too heavy. Hold on, let me not do
Her hand's
anything.
too heavy.
Oh no.
I'm just saying, like, don't blame the movie. I don't care what fucking movie it is.
It's not the movie, it's the guy. That's the conclusion.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, like, but at the same time, I understand that there's a lot of speed bumps and stuff. But again, we weren't there. We're only looking at from your perspective. Another perspective that I want to offer is maybe he just wasn't. One, he either was not taking the hint, or because, you know, like with him being as dreamy as you say, you know, if he was single, somebody's been talking shit about him. Because all girls talk shit about their ex, you know. So maybe he just didn't. He was being extra cautious,
I think it was that,
you know,
honestly, the
because
extra
like
caution.
same with me. You guys have told me many times. Even there's some that I understand, but there's some that I don't believe. Where you think that a girl wants me to flirt with her, but I'm being extra cautious because it's easy for somebody to just say something bad about me and kill my business.
I just always wonder what I did wrong because I didn't get the second call. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's a really good perspective. But if I'm like dropping the soft touches and I'm sitting right next to you, like come on, dude.
No, but there's there's also guys that are just not. Yeah, they're oblivious. Like there was a girl that was hanging out with my homeboy, and she had she was holding his arm, and she was up on his shoulder like this.
So his head is laying on his shoulder.
Her
Her head.
her head
her
was
head.
laying on his shoulder, right? And she was like, "Oh, I love how muscular your arms are." And immediately, what he does is he flexes, and he's all like, "Oh, you could do bicep curls for this." And then if you're lifting the weights this way,
This is your friend?
This is my
This
friend.
is definitely your friend.
I was like,
Oh no.
bro, there's other workouts too. Let me show you.
Guys are funny.
Oh, man.
Okay, I just wanted to ask that fun question because I was like, I wonder from a guy's perspective what might have happened there. But I mean, I know you guys weren't there, but there's obviously hypotheticals that are fun
There's many things that can happen. I mean, you know, sometimes people have like this persona, and then you get them in the back, and it's always then it's like
they're more shy and timid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
and then you know they're sometimes you know like they're waiting for you to make the move, but if you just kind of like okay bye and then walk out, then it's almost like they got
Yeah.
They might be
they got
discouraged too.
they got
you know?
turned down, so they're embarrassed to call you again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
exactly.
mean, that might have happened. I just wanted to hear your guys' perspective because it was funny. I was just like, wait a minute. What about this during my hoe phase? I'll get a guy's perspective on that now.
Yeah, I'm just so used to being turned down. I don't give a fuck. I'll just like, are you sure you don't want me to come over? Okay.
Are you
Just-
sure?
yeah.
I'm still in.
Look. Hear me out. Please. That's my game right there. That's my Riz.
Can we just watch the opening credits?
Yeah.
So have you ever approached a guy?
Approached a guy?
Yeah, like during your hoe phase where you like was the aggressor?
In the club. I probably have because I'm like, I was
So,
on
boy,
so many
you know
drinks.
I'm Hoe Phase.
Did you just ask him for a drink or like what was your approach?
I'm down to say yes. What's up?
There's times where we were catching eye for sure at the bar. Like I was standing here and he was standing like maybe where Vince was at, and you can tell like we were like locking eyes for a pretty long time.
That's pretty close.
Well,
Pretty close.
well
to just
compared
be
to
like,
like so many people, not like that. You know,
It's all creepy.
He's hella creepy. But like,
look at me, Vince.
oh my gosh, y'all, the way you sucking that straw.
At the same time sucking the straw.
Is that how it was?
For those who are listening on the audio platforms, make sure you guys watch the YouTube version because this shit's funny.
these are the dreamy eyes that I gave Lonnie.
Zoom in on that.
My eyes immediately went. I was trying to follow.
This is my seductive look.
The way he lifted his hat to make sure.
Yeah.
Are you dying? Or are you giving a seductive look?
No wonder you gotta know.
I know, right? Was that what you sent her, the selfie?
You know that's how I dance with girls. I'm just. Oh my God.
Dude, and then when you dance next to me, when you do that, I'm like, Vince. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, I have done that to you.
You have done that plenty of times next to me.
People should watch that one dance. Remember we're at Tajima with you and Bayan?
Oh yeah.
It's all edited. Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna have to see
Okay,
that because
yeah.
we don't know that one.
Right. But yeah, so we've locked eyes, flirted eyes, or whatever, and then I went over and I was like, "What are you drinking?" And then he's like, "Oh, I'm just drinking a beer." I was like, "All right, like I got it, right?" And then after that, he was just like, "That was it." Like he wasn't.
Well
like,
played, bro. Well played.
I mean, yeah, good for him. But like,
He was scared.
if you were like, winking at me and like whatever.
Did he?
He has a girlfriend.
Did he buy you a
Just
drink?
kidding.
Did he buy me a drink?
Yeah.
No, after so I bought him a drink, and then I don't remember exactly everything because it was a long time ago, but I remember we made like small talk, and then he's like, "Oh, my boys are calling me. I gotta go."
Oh, that's what girls do actually after you buy them a drink.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well
Yes.
played, motherfucker.
Well played.
I used that line on Act when he was trying to get at me. I was like, my she's oh yeah, my friend over there. There was no friend
thanks-
over there.
yeah.
thanks
She's
for the
calling
drink.
me. Well, he never got me a drink, but
No, I'm saying he just used what you guys. He just used your weapon
He
against
for sure
you.
did. He for sure
Oh,
did. But I mean,
fucked up.
you know how I always drink water?
yeah,
Okay, so or Diet Coke.
yeah.
Right?
No ice.
So there was one time that I was at a club setting, and this wasn't too far back, but it was definitely before the podcast. And this girl's all like, "Hey, what are you drinking?" I was like, "Oh, just water, because I gotta take metformin for my diabetes."
Wow. Did you actually say that?
She's like, okay."
Can you imagine just immediately oversharing?
Oh.
Like, I'm taking this because I have a UTI.
Cranberry juice, clear that shit right up.
I'm just taking my erectile dysfunction medicine in
Yeah.
a couple hours, so just some water.
I'm a little constipated, so I'm taking prune juice.
Oh my god.
So, girl, I'll be drinking that Metamucil. I was like,
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
my god, I'm dead.
Every time, if we ever go out and somebody hits on you, that's like immediately what you need to do. We need to tell them that we're drinking a specific kind of juice for a reason and
You
just all
gotta-
start laughing.
you gotta tell me when a girl is hitting on me, so I don't say that shit.
That's true.
That's very
so
true. Very true.
So yeah. Anyways, I'm diabetic.
So his hoe phase was his no phase.
Yep.
Yeah.
You think dating and hoeing are two different things?
No, most definitely. But I get it now what you guys mean. All right.
What's your ratio? She had to give hers.
Yeah.
What's your ratio of?
Oh, mine was 100% no.
So, like, say you were talking. Okay, don't say.
Yeah,
I've
you
never-
guys hella put me on
I
blast.
know, right?
What the fuck?
What's your ratio of talk to sex
Dating.
to dating
okay.
ratio?
Wait, I'm gonna guess that his was high, because if they don't give it up, there's no point in talking to them.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm very picky when it comes to that too.
Like who you give it to?
Like who I talk to.
Okay. Are you picky about who you give it to, or is it like if you talk to
He's
them?
like, hell no.
Like if they talk to you, then you've already passed that they're gonna smash. They're smashable.
I enjoy this conversation. Let me show you this alleyway.
Let's take it to the back.
I think that if I start talking to them and the conversation's good, the chances of it happening go up,
Okay.
right? But a lot of times I'm just like very kind of like still guarded, where if I'm talking to somebody, I don't necessarily take that next step in the conversation until I feel like
Safer to do that kind of
Yeah.
a thing. Okay.
Well, what's
re-
your
How come I pictured
what was your ratio though? If you had to guess, out of 10.
out of 10,
Yeah.
maybe like 1 out of 10.
for what?
Wow, 1 out of
For
10. I thought it was gonna
For
be higher.
smashing?
No.
I thought it was, oh.
Damn, for some reason I pictured you like this. Hey yo, so this Allie, this way. You know, that's how I pictured it.
Because you are so confident. So like
Yeah.
we picture that kind of guy that can like, hey, what's up, girl?
Yeah, but that's but
Hey,
that
what's up,
doesn't.
Ma?
That doesn't
Hey, what's up, ma?
Hey, girl.
no, but
He probably says this like freaking. How do you say your
No, you're never gonna get that out of your head when you hit on girls. You're gonna be like,
So
"What's
much.
Ari's line?"
somehow. No, but like okay, so I guess I'm more of on the traditional side, but that's why sometimes when I say like I'm not comfortable, it's because I'm not necessarily dealing with traditional women. You know what I mean?
So much sense.
So I can have a conversation with them. We could probably go out, but it dies right there,
Yeah.
and it doesn't go anywhere after that.
So what do you say if you want to smash?
I think it just happens.
What's
Damn,
your
I was
move?
waiting
Yeah,
for
there's
like
no,
a
like-
juicy
yeah, there-
answer.
There's really no like
Have
we'll
you ever
look
seen
for green
Friends?
lights. Yeah.
Have you ever seen Friends?
Yeah, the what
Where
was
he-
that story?
Where he's like, they're like talking about their moves.
Have I ever told you about that time I went backpacking?
Yeah. So that's his move. Do you have a move? Like,
No.
like, hey, I do YouTube.
I would
Hey,
no,
I
I
can
would
do you too.
yeah.
let me provide like an observation that I just made up right now.
Okay.
I think that girls have moves to give guys the green light. We just look for a green light because ultimately we're just waiting for your permission.
true.
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
True.
It's very
Yeah.
true.
So you guys have to actually put on the moves. We may have techniques that make you more comfortable to do those, which is probably what you guys are referring to as the move.
Yeah.
Right.
But ultimately our move is to recognize the green lights.
Okay, so what would be your guys's like? What would be our moves that are the green light for you guys?
Well, it's always situational. So, for instance, like let's say we were all hanging out like at a backyard and there's like a fucking fire pit or whatever.
Like a kickback?
Yeah, and
Okay.
I sit down next to you. If you scoot closer to me, then that kind of makes it obvious. Or if you kind of scoot away, you know, there's trust me. There's all this touchy feely shit that happens.
Stop
Yeah,
it,
there's-
stop.
Yeah,
No, but there's body language things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like typically a person's feet, whether it's a guy or girl, will point in the direction that they want to be at or pay attention to.
That's true. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
If Ari and I are sitting next to each other and she puts her purse, I think next to me, that means that if she leaves it next to me, it means she trusts me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
right.
Yeah, just shit like that. If you see, was it where you can read the pulse? What do they call those areas?
Well, you're
Yeah. So like if a girl shows her neck, it's a sign of attraction. Same thing with the inside of her wrist.
oh okay, yeah,
I never
like,
heard that
like the
one.
Yeah.
androgynous zones.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, that's where you would put like all the serums and shit.
So would you say that Hoe Phase is, that's true, because when I do my little oils, that's true. Would you say that you're for, so
rubbing it.
Hoe Phase or no phase, like are you for it or not for it for like a young, wild and free girl?
Oh yeah, I feel like as long as you're doing it safely, I'm all for it. Because my whole phase, well, it should be like my dating phase of getting to know what the fuck I want.
I agree.
Yeah.
Definitely. What about you guys? Do you think, okay, like let's take the actual wholeness out of it, but like dating, right? Would you tell like your daughters, for example, like, hey, date around and really figure it out? Or would you say be more conservative and be very selective of who you talk to? Like, because, there's two different perspectives. Like, you can't find the right one unless you really search. And then there's the other one that's like, don't be just fucking giving your time to everybody.
Yeah, I'm pretty straightforward with my daughter. I'm like, all they want is one thing.
Yeah.
It's just like, they're gonna tell you anything and everything.
So do you recommend or not recommend the dating multiple people phase?
I'm
Hoe
the
phase?
same with Lonnie. Like as long as you're doing it carefully and you're not like putting yourself in danger or basically ignoring fucking basic your duties or what you know what I'm saying, like
Yeah.
The red flags and shit.
yeah or
Being
you
a responsible
safety,
person.
yeah or just
precautions.
your responsibilities just get thrown out the window. Yeah, I mean go for it.
So
Just-
you're essentially a yes too.
yeah,
Then.
just don't get fucking pregnant. That's like Jesus Christ.
What's wrong with that?
No, not
I'm just kidding.
Not during the whole phase. What about you? For it or not for it?
I'd be not for it. I think that learning that whole phase dating and talking mean different things to you guys. So like whole phase is what we consider talking. So if I were to say, if I were to be asked about the hoe phase, I'd say don't have a hoe phase, but talk to multiple people and then choose the best candidate out of that to then date. And then if that date doesn't go well, go back to the dugout and start talking again. But I wouldn't say, oh yeah, go through your whole phase where essentially, oh, I might go out with, if I was a girl and I was in my whole phase, oh, I'm going to go meet up with Jerry at this club. And then, but on Wednesday, I'm going to go after work with Eric. That to me, I'm like, no, because then you're playing with guys' emotions a little bit too much. Because we remember the way that we look at it is like, oh, some girl's giving us attention. We don't have an army of girls that are just down to go eat with us and stuff like that. So we value it a lot more.
Yeah, but ideally,
that guys value it a lot more.
Ideally, that's how you think. But realistically, you wouldn't even know she's meeting the guy on Wednesday.
Yeah, but there in itself, that even gives me more reason to think that it's exclusive.
True, but not true. True to what you're saying, and true because when I'm talking to somebody,
You're
like
very
when I'm established,
straightforward.
I'm like, so what are you like? Are you just wanting? You go with the flow? Are you like looking for somebody or what? And he's like, oh, I'm just going with the flow. I'm like, cool. I know I'm looking. I don't know. I'm just
but
going with the flow too. So then I'm not gonna expect anything.
But see, there's not a lot of okay. I'll speak for myself. There's not a lot of options for me. So when you say you're going with the flow, that means okay, I'm gonna take it slow with you. Mm-hmm. But that means I'm taking it slow with you, not like we're gonna experiment with other people. And if you're the best option, For me, if you're already giving me that attention, and if the attention and stuff is what I'm actually craving, then I'm going to focus all of that. And I'm gonna, if I only know my way of thinking, I would assume that you are thinking the same way. This is like pre-podcast before I started like offering opinions and stuff and hearing other opinions and understanding that other people have different trains of thought. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Pre-podcast, most guys who don't have a podcast, who don't listen to podcasts, who don't do their own self-reflection and self-research, they're not going to think other people think different.
Yeah, when you like guys interpret it different. When you say I'm just gonna go with the flow, if it's just right, I'm gonna go with the flow with you. Yeah. But you were like, I'm gonna go with the flow with.
I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of guys that are big hoes out there too. Though.
Yeah.
Like,
okay, maybe I wouldn't say go with the flow, but like I'm keeping my options open.
Okay. There's a lot of guys that are hoes, but the percentage compared to women that have the options are a lot smaller, right? So the chances of you meeting some guy that's hoeing himself around
is way slimmer
than the ample choices you have.
You're right.
Like you could
unless he's a fuck boy.
Well, you'll know that though.
But there's the ratio of fuck boy to girls that have a bunch of options is way different. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
And also look at the way that you guys are talking about it. You call it your whole phase when in reality what we think of it is dating, right? And you're so open with it, and it happens so much, not with you guys, but with girls, that it's normalized to call a hoe phase.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's so normalized with you guys. Just take into perspective that how much your terminology changed compared to what we see it as. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it means probably less for you guys in that phase than for us.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
But to my homegirl, still hoe face.
Yeah.
For sure. It's just like
for sure. It's just easier
agree.
that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else to discuss about hoe phase?
If you're in your hoe phase, just make sure don't connect your heart with your pussy with that shit. Mm-hmm. I remember we've talked about that before too. Like, if you're genuinely in your hoe phase, don't connect your pussy to your heart to every single one of them. Right. If you are fucking like multiple people.
See, so that's exactly what you were just talking about.
Yeah.
You said with every single people.
But you only have one people.
I only for the guy you're talking to that will play it by ear. He's waiting for your ear to
Yeah,
play,
yeah,
and
yeah,
he'll go
yeah.
with he'll follow your footsteps.
That's so crazy because I know that you guys are right, right? The
Yeah.
ratio for guys is much lower, but I think because of
How guys do, like, where they perceive things.
right the way exactly like for girls, I guess we have almost like this trauma or this I don't want to call it trauma because it's not like I'm traumatized but like the stigma, right? Like
Yeah.
you see it on movies that guys are like the dickhead players that are just going around being hoes. You hear about it in songs like ass, hoe this, hoe that.
Yeah.
But when in reality, good
It's the other
guys
way
like
around.
yourself actually have a way harder time than it's, society perceives that like you guys are out here just choosing pussy all over the place.
I like
you
how
know?
you call it our perception, where you're.
No, I mean like and guys, like good guys in general.
No, but I'm saying it's funny that you're calling it our perspective or whatever. Where in actuality we have to change the reality to understand it your way.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, vice versa, because I'm still like, oh, like every time you guys said something, I was like, oh shit, that's a really good point.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I never thought about it that way. You know, like that's a really, really good point because, like I said, we're thinking like guys are over here like, man, girls are
No.
just nothing but pussy.
Okay,
you know?
so
Literally.
wait, how much time do we have? Are we okay?
We're at an hour and 9 minutes right now.
God damn.
Damn.
Can I ask one question?
Of
Go ahead.
course.
If you found out that one of your sons was talking to a girl that was in her whole phase, what would you say to him?
Let's see. I would tell him, fuck that bitch. No, I'm just kidding. I'd probably just tell him like, hey, unless she commits herself to you, don't take it too seriously, son.
Yeah, but it's hard though because then
Right.
they're together, and again,
Because he has no other options.
Right, so
Keep that
he's
in
like
mind.
focused on her and
He's
he's
focused.
falling for her while she's choosing. I
Yes.
get that, yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. With you guys, I'm like, oh, like I see things and I'm like, well, I would have never thought about it that way. So
Yeah. Okay, I won't use Hoe Phase with other people.
just my homegirls.
Just my homegirls.
That's the compromise here.
No,
I'm
yeah.
just gonna say amongst us.
like no, I get it now, but when you're not in the know and you go, oh, I'm just going through my whole face, I'm going, she's getting run down every night.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
get that.
You know.
I mean, when you hear hoe, that's essentially what
That's
people are
really
gonna
what it
think.
is, yeah.
I get it.
Yeah,
I get it
like when
too.
I hear some girls going through a whole phase, I'm just thinking, damn, that's like a walking STD or something.
Oh.
Honestly, yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly what
Really?
I'm thinking.
That's crazy.
Because remember, we associate it with like getting run through,
Yeah.
and then getting run through without vetting the people that you're going with.
Yeah.
So
I also want to say if you are going through your hoe phase, don't be like me and ghost really good guys. Just be open to actually like finding that person. Like don't be like searching, but be open,
And just to add on to that too, like be real with yourself also, whether like if you think you're really ready for your dating phase or not.
Exactly. Absolutely.
See, I use dating, not hoe.
is it true when a girl goes into her dating phase, like she'll change her hair color?
She'll definitely do something drastic.
I feel like girls do that with any drastic event
And then
in their house,
and then like
or
if
in their
they
house in their life.
if they've got into that point where they like move in with the guy or it's like a committed relationship, they'll go back to black.
I don't
Their
think
hair,
so.
not the people.
I think some girls do that, like not even knowing that they're doing that. Because I remember one of my exes pointed that out when we broke up and we were like cool afterwards. He's like, "Oh, you cut your hair again." And I was like, "What?" He goes, "You always do that."
Because
whenever
you're not peacocking. You're not trying to track
Yeah.
the other.
like the Asians with the blonde hair.
right."
yeah,
When they're out searching the blonde hair, then they
Yeah.
get in a relationship, then it's like
Ew.
yeah.
then it's no.
But then
longer-
you're married like me, and you just go through all the hair colors, and it doesn't mean anything. So that also, but
Or
yeah.
it's fucking $500 to do your damn hair and you get lazy.
Yeah, that part. That's also
too.
part of it.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, it sounds like we had a really good perspective on both ends and learned that.
I learned a little something.
I learned a lot.
They learned me. I don't know.
I learned a lot.
I learned that a whole face isn't a whole face unless it's a whole face.
That part.
I'm still in my no face.
All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode. And don't forget to order your Mikey's meals. Use our code TheBabes10 to save some money. And if you want a dope studio in San Diego, this is the studio here for you right now. So we'll have all the information linked in the description bar.
I was thinking bio, but
Oh yeah.
was thinking
Description bar
bio,
bio.
yeah.
I'm like, which one?
Description box.
Yeah.
There you go. He's gonna take care of all of that. So it will all be there for you guys. And is there anything else I'm leaving out?
No, I think that's it.
All right. We'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.
Bye.